Hello everyone, my name is Mariam Mokhtar. With all the talk about road accidents and deaths in the news and on social media, one tragic case has been largely ignored. This video is not just about crashes and accidents, it is about justice being denied. So we begin with a tragedy that should never have happened. And it was on the first day of Chinese New Year 2025, last year. Ho Su Lynn went for her usual early morning training. Later that morning, as is the usual custom in Malaysia, she would have been with her family to welcome visitors to their open house on Chinese New Year. But at 6:20 in the morning, along the road towards Donggongon town, she was hit by a drunk driver in a Honda City. Ho Su Lynn was only 45 years old, a dedicated marathon runner, a single mother. She never stood a chance because the impact from behind caused severe head injuries and she was pronounced dead at the scene. Her mother described her as someone whose life was passionate about running. She would get up at 3 in the morning to train. She was in bed by 7 p.m. to rest. And what was her dream? It was to compete in international marathons. Friends and family remember her as kind and gentle, someone whose life touched everyone she met. And she was a devoted daughter who visited her father in the intensive care unit at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital every morning. And then, in an instant, she was gone. Let us examine the legal failure. At the time of the accident, the driver, a 21-year-old man, was alleged to have been drunk. He was charged under Section 44, subsection 1 of the Road Transport Act, which is drunken driving causing death. The first case mentioned was on the 11th of July 2025. Ho's family subsequently found out that the driver would instead be charged under Section 45A, which is drunken driving without causing harm or death. So their lawyers wrote to the prosecution before the hearing, pleading for the correct charge to be reinstated. Their voices were ignored. Why? Now, at the second case mentioned on the 21st of August 2025, the Ho family was delivered a further blow when the driver pleaded guilty and received just a 10,000 ringgit fine and a 2-year driving suspension. Is Ho Su Lin's life worth only 10,000 ringgits? A son has lost his mother, the parents a loving daughter, and Sabah has lost an athlete and promising marathon runner. And this is the moral dereliction. Justice was not served to Ho and her family. This was not just a legal failure, but it is also a moral dereliction. A reckless, dangerous and irresponsible road user was not suitably punished. The driver had been drunk. But yes, he had a choice. He could have called a taxi to return home after drinking, but he made the irresponsible decision, his choice, to drive despite being intoxicated. So his choice led to disastrous consequences because under the influence of drink, he effectively turned his car into a weapon. he took her life, Ho Su Lin's. The driver killed an innocent person but managed to walk free after paying a fine. This is an insult not just to Ho Su Lin and her family, but also to every responsible road user. The punishment also devalued Su Lin's life. More importantly, it sets a dangerous precedent for the Rakyat. And so here are our critical questions, and I'm sure most of you may agree. Important questions that remain unanswered. Despite eyewitness reports and recommendations by the investigating officer, why was the lighter charge pursued? Despite being initially charged under Section 44, subsection 1, how was it possible for the drunk driver to downgrade the charge? Was this because of an abuse of power or a perversion of justice? Despite the appeals of the grieving family and their team of lawyers, why were they ignored? Despite the presence of existing laws, why were they not properly applied? More families will suffer when similar accidents happen to their loved ones. So what are the broader implications? This case is bigger than just the tragedy suffered by the whole family. The verdict says a lot about the type of society we live in when laws are not properly enforced. It sends mixed messages to the Rakyat, whereby it is permissible to drive when drunk because it is considered a minor offence with a fine and driving suspension as punishment. It also exhibits two standards of justice when the law can be inexplicably downgraded. Why weaken protection for the public and also erode public trust and confidence in the law? Why? Section 44, subsection 1 was to hold drunk drivers accountable when their irresponsible actions destroy lives. And so let us have some personal reflections on this. Every day, when we say goodbye to our family members when they leave the house to go to school, to work, to shop, or to take a walk or run, we do expect them to return home safely. The law is there to protect all road users, to deter crime and to punish wrongdoers. In the end, the law failed to protect Ho Su Lin, and her life was worth less than a business class ticket to London, perhaps. What happened to her could so easily happen to you or your loved ones. Su Lin's life mattered. Her family's pain and suffering matters. The law must matter, otherwise we may as well live in a lawless society. Justice for Ho Su Lin is justice for every victim of drunk driving. And the public should stand firmly behind Su Lin's family to demand accountability and justice, to review the verdict and reopen the case. No one should think that the life of their loved one can be treated as expendable. So, where is the justice for Su Lin? And where is the justice for all of us? If the law cannot protect those who are most vulnerable. Now, think about it the next time you get behind the wheel. And remember, every life matters. Every law should matter. Thank you for watching. Speak to you soon. If you like my videos, please press like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please also visit my Patreon channel if you wish to sponsor me. Thank you.